everybody, welcome back to High Country Cooking with Chewy. Today I'm going to show you how to make some really easy Italian bread. Forget that stuff you buy in the store. This stuff will blow you away. Simple to make, so stick around. You're going to like this one. Alright, this is everything we need to throw this Italian bread together. Got 6 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 cups of warm water, 2 packets of yeast, and 1 egg. That's it. That's all we need. So let's throw this stuff together. Real easy. Alright, now the first things we're going to do to put this together, we're going to take our flour, put it in the mixer. We're going to take our warm water and our 2 packets of yeast. We're going to put the yeast in the water. We're going to let it start to proof for a minute. Just get a spoon, stir our yeast up into the water. Make sure to mix it up really well. To the water, we're going to add our sugar. Just gives the yeast a little something extra to feed on. Set that off to the side. To our flour, we'll add our salt, our olive oil, as you can tell, I don't know if you can see that or not, but our yeast is nice and alive. It's starting to foam on the top. So we'll add that to the flour mixture. Make sure we stir it up a little, make sure nothing's stuck to the bottom. Turn our mixer on low. Slowly start adding our water. And we're going to let this go until a nice big dough ball forms on the hook of the mixer. So when that happens, we'll bring it back. Okay, our dough has been mixing for about 5 to 8 minutes now. What we're going to do is just lift the hook up. You should get a nice clean break with the dough off of the hook. Your hook should come out nice and clean. Shouldn't really stick to the bowl too much. So this dough is ready. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is I got myself a clean bowl here. I got the largest bowl I have. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some olive oil, put it on a napkin, and I'm going to oil up the inside of this just so the dough doesn't stick when it rises. Just lightly oil it. Then I'm going to take my dough ball, get it out of my mixing bowl. What I'm going to kind of do is kind of work it over, fold it in over itself, just so you get a nice round ball, no seams on the top. And we'll take our olive oil, give a little drizzle to the top, rub it around. We want to make sure we oil it Put it down in our oil bowl, flip it over a little. Just let it rest right in the middle of that bowl. Alright, last thing we got to do to let this dough rest and rise is I just took a towel, I wet it with some warm water. We're going to cover it up and it's going to sit for the next hour. When this thing's sitting, it's going to double in size. So when it's ready to be punched down, we'll bring it back in an hour. Alright, it's been an hour. Time to check this dough out. As you can see, it's really doubled in size. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to throw down some flour. We're going to punch this down and make some Italian bread out of this. Alright, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to flour down my work surface so my dough doesn't stick to it. I'm going to take my dough. You don't actually have to punch this, but it's always fun to watch it deflate. Roll that out onto my work surface. What I'm going to kind of do is spread it out a little bit, fold it over itself. Really want to punch it down. Fold it over itself a few times. And this is enough dough to make 2 loaves of bread. What I'm going to end up doing is making 2 loaves, but I might turn one of them into some rolls. Cut that in half, set that over to the side. Kind of want to work it out, get it molded together really well. Kind of start working it into the loaf shape. Kind of spread it out, get it nice and even. Then what I'm going to do is after I get these formed, I got my cookie sheet or a baking sheet with some parchment paper on it. I'm just going to set it up on there. When I get the other one done, it's going to go on here too. And then we're going to proof these things for about another hour. Alright, got my dough all formed out. Got it set up on the cookie sheet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my damp towel again. Just going to cover them up. Let them rest for another hour. They're going to double in their size and then they're ready for the oven. So when we're ready for the next step, we'll bring it back. Alright, it's been an hour. A little less than an hour, and as you can tell, these things have really doubled in size, so they're ready to go. What I'm going to want to do is get a sharp knife. I'm going to put one slice right down the middle of these things. This just helps them so they don't really explode while they're in the oven. Then what I did is I took that egg, added a little bit of water to it, and really beat it up. And I'm just going to brush this all over the tops of these loaves. Now this will make it so the bread's nice and crusty when it comes out and give it a little extra golden color. I'm going to try to cover these things all the way. Now you can use the regular paintbrush style one. I just happen to have a silicone one on hand. Now, as you can tell from that beep, I got my oven preheated. I heated it up to 400 degrees. Alright, these are looking pretty well coated. And then on one of these, I'm just going to take a little garlic powder and lightly cover one with a little bit of garlic powder. Alright, now I'm ready to go pop these in the oven, 450 degree or 400 degrees for the next 20 to 25 minutes until these things get nice and golden brown, and they'll have a hollow sound when you thump on them when they're ready. So let's go throw them in the oven. Alright, you can tell these look really nice and plump. So in the oven they go, about the center of the rack, middle of the oven. And we'll check back on these in about 25 minutes. Alright, my bread's been in the oven now for 24 minutes. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but it has a nice hollow sound to it. Which these are done. Nice and golden brown. What I'm going to do is I got a couple cooling racks here. See if I can very gently pop these off the cooling rack. And we're going to let these sit and cool off for about 10 minutes or so. You don't want to cut into these when they're screaming hot like it is. So we're going to let these cool. We're ready for a taste test. We'll bring it back. Alright, my bread's cooled down for about 15 minutes or so now. Let's cut this open, see how it is. Oh yeah, listen to that crust. Oh, the center feels nice and soft. Oh yeah. I look at that. Beautifully done. I mean, isn't that just the most beautiful bread? So, let's give this a taste test and see how she is. Alright, let's give it a taste test, see how it is. Oh yeah, nice and moist. Crust is nice and crunchy. Not real heavy. This one's a keeper. Definitely give this stuff a try. You'll love it. Remember, if you like what you see, give me that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Hey, leave me a comment. I'll even answer it. And always remember, never trust a skinny cook.